All right, I've carved out 2 weeks to work on something back here. So I decided that since this car is full of cans, 1948 Plymouth with suicide doors, I might as well do this one. I've always wanted to body swap a car. And you know we have to do the GM swap on it. So, this is my donor car, Buick LeSabre. What'd you think I was gonna do, an LS swap like every single other person does? No, I'm weird and different, and I do things that nobody else does, so. 48 Plymouth on an 3-ish LeSabre. So we got a 3.8, heat, AC, cruise control, disc brakes. All right, y'all, here's day one. Body swapping a 1948 Plymouth onto what turns out to be, I think, an 04 Buick LeSabre. Headlights and taillights are out, front and rear bumpers out, hoods off, trunk lids off, doors are off, glasses out, plastics are off, all that good stuff. I've been chasing some wiring gremlins. The car wasn't running very well at all. I actually had to pull it in here, and you can see I hooked a log chain, and it bent the radiator support, and now the log chain is jammed between the radiator support and the radiator. I did find out that the mice had got in and chewed 2 of the injector wires off, and then they also chewed 2 spark plug wires off. Shop cats sit here sleeping on the seat instead of apparently getting the mice that are chewing my car up. I don't know. I'm gonna grab the Plymouth, yeet it into the shop, start tearing that down tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2. All right, day 2 update. Plymouth is in the shop. And the smell that's coming out of this thing it's terrible. In this trash can, we have what's left of a trash panda or 2. I'm not sure. It just piles of, it's just terrible. But column out, radiator out, hood out. You can see how rusty this thing is just in the trunk here. That body mount's actually rusted off over there. The seat's outside. I threw that thing outside. It was terrible. But inside's all cleaned out, and we're ready to start bracing this, welding pieces across so it doesn't flex when I cut the floor out of it. Hopefully tomorrow we get this thing up in the air so we can roll the chassis out and have the body on the ground, and we can pull the Buick in tomorrow. Front clip is just laying here. This all needs to go. I'm not using any of it, so I wasn't nice taking it apart. So, oh well, see you on day 3. All right, day 3, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto an 04 Buick. Got the front clip, everything off here I need to get off here. Radiator support, surrounds, or supports, or shrouds, whatever you call them, all gone. I got this motor trans, frame, axles, everything, all gone. All I got left is the body, and it's super solidly onto this hoist. Yep, that's nice. On our Buick, all the front is off of this, the bumper support, hood latch, all that not needing. The roof is off. I'm taking the dash apart because it's too skinny here. All right, day 4, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto an 04 Buick. We got a lot of ground cover and not a lot of time, so here we go. We got it sitting on top of it. Got all the cowling and everything cut out of here. Started going up and down and up and down. There's gonna be a lot of that next over the few days, lowering it and trimming what hits. So lost the AC vent off of here because it was fighting the door hinge. Lost the outer quarter and the inner off of this because it was hitting this. Lost the inner off of this guy. Look at, there's nothing in here. Lost pretty much everything in here. Got some super awesome bracing too. Like I didn't really care because the door's still open and closed, but there's that. Plasma cutter went on unemployment, that close to finishing the job. And then I got it braced up and going through the rear windows so it's perfectly balanced. Like you can just barely touch this thing and it just rocks back and forth. Pretty cool, huh? Well, there's day 4. We'll see you for day 5. All right, end of day 5, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto an 04 Buick LeSabre. So here's where we're at today. Got it sitting down pretty low. I got to go about 8 more inches, and most of that is going to come from that Plymouth is sitting on the rockers of this. So I have to cut out this outside of this, weld some square tube across the bottom of here to get this Plymouth structure because there's nothing there yet, and then dropping it down, welding that square tube to the inner structure of the rocker. I also have to cut A-pillars off so our fenders will fit there. If I drop it 8 more inches, where that's cut right there should sit within an inch or 2 of our dash down here, which will give us, just a little bit. Perfect. I think we're good there, but you can see how much wider the Buick is than the Plymouth. But there's what we got done today. Most of my time tomorrow is gonna be sent down there, so we'll see you for day 6. We're back, body swapping 48 Plymouth, 04 Buick LeSabre. This is all the stuff I got taken off today, and some of it was nicely, some of it was not. Here is my outer rocker skin. Here's the structure, which is all still rusted out. So now I gotta deal with this. So all of that got me an extra 2 inches. And I don't care who you talk to, 2 inches is a lot. That means I got 5 more to go, that's a really lot. I mean, I've never even heard a number that big before. But here's what we got going across there. I removed some more out of the package tray, more out of the floors up here. And now I'm working across my A-pillar. We're gonna take and cut straight across there so our fenders can go across here right at that blue line. And then I'll take some plate steel and weld across there. Down across there, I'm gonna have to get some more square tube, put some more square tube, weld them together. That'll give me lots of structure. But there's day 6. We will see you for day 7. Okay, here we go. Day 7 of body swapping a 40 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. Here's what I got cut off today. I did cut off the rear fenders. Sorry, unbolted, but it is pretty much a cutting because all the bolts stripped out and broke off. But we are at our final ride height. It is 11:40 something at night. I've been drinking for a while now. But we are 9 inches off the ground up here, 11 inches off the ground. So that's a nice where I want to set look. Everything is super tight to where it needs to be for the unibody structure. Dash is the same in there, perfect. So we'll see you at day 8 for more progress. All right, end of day 8, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. Working on getting the front end fitted up. Nothing's bolted on. I've been cutting the fenders to make them fit. I still have to cut the back of this so the wheel will be centered in the wheel well, but I'm having a lot of fitment issues. The frame of the Buick is way too long. Can't cut it because the engine mount, or the engine cradle, sorry, is right there. So the condenser fan and radiator are all sticking out past, and the frame are all sticking out past. So it's a lot. And then I got to cut right here to move this and then weld a pie shape in because the strut tower is hitting on the outside of the fender out here. But there's end of day 8. I don't know if I'll get done in 14, but I'm gonna sure as heck try like heck. All right, end of day 9. Body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto 04 Buick LeSabre. I got rocker panels on today. They're not solid on there yet. Went to the blacksmith shop, found this laying in his trash pile, bought it from him. I'm gonna put that on there. I'm gonna weld some angle iron from the floor up, and then the angle iron will sit across here as well. I'm gonna chop the front fenders up. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna chop them here and here at 8 inches of the length, and I'll pull that in and I'll split the hood down the center and widen it out so that my front end all lines up. The dolly part and front bumper that I picked up from frame horn to frame horns, 43 inches, and then that dolly to that dolly right there, 43 inches as well. So even the hood has the correct curvature to it. So that's what we're going to do there. I still have a lot of rust repair to do and a lot of patching and plating to do. So next few days, that's probably what's going to be going on. So we'll see you for day 10. All right, here we are. Day 10, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. Here's what we got done. It's on there. Like, it's on there. Like, if I wanted to pick it back up, the whole car is going to come with it. It's just tacked in place, so I don't want to take all the weight off of this jig yet. But it is tacked in place in here. There got angle iron going from my rocker panel, which is the yellow piece there. So you got angle iron going underneath the floor, tacked in place, and then the angle iron is tacked in place to the rocker, and then the rocker is actually welded on the A, B, and C pillars. But I don't want to let the weight off yet, because since this is now going to be a unibody structure, I need to get it welded all the way around. I think this is my weak spot. It'd probably fold right here if I let all the weight off. So I'm going to get all this welded solid, or a lot more, and then hopefully by the end of tomorrow, I'll be able to let this weight off, get this nice, super solid jig out of here, and then hopefully start cutting bracing out of there, and then so I can weld inside of there. So we'll see you for day 11 tomorrow. Thank you. All right, here we are, end of day 11, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. Started doing patch panels, so these work really good for templates, for making panels. That's what I've been doing across the back end here. That was the one I just showed you, was this one right here, welding all the way across here. So yeah, just welding across there, stitch welds at a time, drill the holes for the wiring for the fuel pumps to come through, and then patching in across here, and then started welding up across here it gets pretty sloppy because this is about where I quit. I hired a new employee and been training him. And this is the weld he did for me. So he's got some work to do, but first time welding, he wants 1 popsicle a day as payment, and I don't know about that yet. So what do you think? 1 popsicle a day? Not gonna be enough? We'll find out. But then same thing over here. That patch panel's in, it's welded on the inside of here. You can see the heat coming through right there. But that's all in solid there. Air compressor is all put back for the air shocks. And then again, patch panels on the cab corners here. Well, I keep calling this thing a cab. And then got this guy up to here. See you tomorrow for day 12. Thanks. All right, here we are. Day 12, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. It is currently almost 45 in the morning on Friday, well, I guess Saturday morning. The Plymouth is no longer attached to the hoist. It is on its own. All 4 of the doors still open and shut. Better than a 2-year-old vehicle. But this really worried me that these doors wouldn't open and close after having nothing attached to them. But they, just like butter, the A-pillar is all welded in. That's 3/16 plate. So we'll see you for day 13. All right, here we are, end of day 13, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. We'll show you how I got done. I've been going across, putting seam sealer down across everything that I've welded inside and out so I can avoid all the dust that's coming. Ran on my wiring as well. I'm just working through light bulbs, figure out what I needed there. Go to the inside. The whole dash is back in. I had to trim the edges like you can see on the glove box right there, but all of that's in there. All the bracing is out. Steering wheel, airbags, multifunction switch, everything's in place. The black stuff you see is pour 15, and there's also the seam sealer that goes all the way across. I still got a little hole there I gotta fix, but all the way across. And then same thing on the other side. All right, day 14, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. I just started chopping fenders up. So basically my thought process right now is I'm gonna put the condenser, radiator, and fans back in, and then I'm gonna figure out how to mount that front bumper. As soon as I get that front bumper under these rails, I will cut the rest of the fenders, split the hood. Now it's this fun time. If you know, you know. Also, if you wanna know how the back seat fits, like a glove. Pretty okay. I'm gonna hold this live grenade in my hand for a little bit, so but you can kind of see the vision that I have. It's not set yet, everything's just kind of sitting there, but, which means I'll just have to fill this right here. I'll slice that guy right across there, move him in, because I still want to keep the point of the hood. All right, we're here, day 15, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. I got my front bumper on. It does look a little bit odd right now. I did make bumper brackets. They're not the prettiest things in the world, but they come out from here and then go into there to the original bumper bracket mounts for this Buick. But here's what I got to add metal into right here. I've been sitting here just pondering and pondering and pondering, kind of looking at it, and then that guy over there is really surprised. All right, here we are, day 16, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. I know I have to chop the bumper. It's gonna break my heart to do it because it's so nice. Because I'm figuring I gotta take roughly 4 inches out of here to kind of halfway cover everything. All right, all taped up, ready to cut. It's gonna hurt to do this, but all taped up, got done the first time. But I always want to try where you throw this at it and it goes, so ready? Well, that didn't work at all. And bam, a second later for you, like 2.5 hours for me. That really absolutely was not fun at all. But 8 inches out the center, got to put back. That was a bear to get lined back up, by the way. I can tuck that more. I can tuck that a lot more. Well, I do believe that she does look a heck of a lot better. New brackets are hanging. Their paint's drying on. Just quick rattle can, matte black. Hanging, getting painted. Happy Friday to y'all. Have a good one. Attempt number 587,773. I'm trying to find a fuel pump ground that I left unhooked. I think I got her now. I can hear it, so I have fuel pump ground. Here we go. First time moving. Look at her go. Out the shop we go. Oh, we're rubbing fenders already. There it is. Out of the shop. Nice. All right, day 17, body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. We are sitting really low on this Buick. Like, we are down on it, and the fitment is tight. So I will have to stay with a front wheel drive wheel. The rear wheel drive wheel would offset more. The full interior is in. Carpet, front seats, dash, rear seats. This one's, I gotta clean the seat, but I did do the carpet already. Battery sits back under there. But it's all in. You hop in just like you normally would. Close the door. Green mark here is my line of sight, so it is perfect still. There's plenty of room for the steering wheel, multiple function switch, your hand don't get in the way. It's really concerning. There's a bullet hole straight through the front windshield, and this car was abandoned when I got it. All right, welcome to day whatever of body swapping a 48 Plymouth onto a 2004 Buick LeSabre. I've been doing a lot of little piddly stuff that I've been putting off. I just swapped out the antifreeze. This had that orange deck spool in it. If we follow our fender line, I'm gonna lose access to the overflow, the radiator, washer fluid, fuse box, AC, dryer, all that. So I figured I might have it all serviced and done so I don't have to take the fender off for a while, hopefully. Front bumper, the grill, I think I have figured out. I don't wound up with this guy. I'll chop the top off of him because I think that curvature is darn near exactly what I need. Oh, by the way, my glass is gone. The glass guy, he come took the glass, we can cut it. Not only am I a master, fabricator, welder, body person, paint person, whatever you want to call it, I'm also a master carpenter. If you didn't know, bam. Anybody that grew up in a house built in the 70s and never updated know exactly what that is. If you'll notice, we have both rear fenders on this thing now. I did have to make the gas cap come out here. Let's just say that gas doesn't like flowing uphill. The only mistake I made is I thought I was wrong. So I cut that open, realized it had to come apart, and then I realized I was wrong, which I wasn't wrong, so I put it back together, but it does have to be apart. That's where that has to be. Everything is kind of tacked in place really quick. Got my little metal strip weld in. This is a half of a 1940 or 41 Chevy hood. This guy right here has some nice ugly welds covering him. Rough fit of this guy. We got a little caddy wampus on her. She did go that way a little bit, so we had to slice across there. So we got a little bit of a gap we're gonna have to fill there. And now I'm setting my wheel arch here. Then I'll just fill in that gap where I cut that piece off up here. That's all welded solid. This guy's welded in solid now, so I know where that's gonna be. I did cut that back there and got that moved back. So if we look at that gap for that wheel well and that gap for that wheel well, we're pretty darn close. I saved the pieces I cut off back here and I'll weld them to fit. Let's go ahead and fill in this right here. So what you need is some cardboard. Pop that guy right on to here. Hatch looks like in there, and this is what it looks like after it's most of the way welded up here. I just started pulling my clamps off of here. All right, there we are. Wheel is centered in the wheel well now. We just had to adjust the wheel wells. Working taillight, working taillight, working taillight, license plate light. That is a brake light. The one in the back window is a brake light. Right there, you can see it. Well, it's dirty. And that is a brake light. Up front, we have headlights. So here's inside of our trunk. Just tucked all my wires, ran them all, and they're all going zigzagged across there. We got a fender on her. Not all the way yet. It just kind of tacked in place. But here we are, right here, getting all this tacked in place. This guy's tacked in place right here. Got to cut this, move him back, and then cut that and move that back. Here's the original cowl off of the Plymouth. That guy's gonna be sitting right here on this, and then we'll just make it to go to here, and then we'll have to figure out the back of the hood. Back here, I got the filler cap all welded in, ground down. We got glass. It's dirty and smudgy. I ain't cleaned it up yet, but it's all glued in all the way around. Got glass out here. We opted to leave this glass because it's got some bullet holes in it. But they're not actually bullet holes. They just, I'm assuming a BB gun popped it or whatever. You can't feel them, you can't cut your hand on them. Just finished welding this fender solid all the way up and around. Got a side view mirror now. I got a rear view mirror right there, all drilled in. Ooh, there's my phone. Got that all good to go. All right, it is currently about 12:20 in the morning. Well, I got all the headlights working, and just to make the older generation just a little angrier, I threw an old T3 in it. All right, this fender working, I just got it all tacked up. That guy set on there, just a little rivet holding them on place. So make some custom fender brackets right there. All right, so here we are. Both of our sides are welded on this thing now. And the seam sealer, this is some leftover stuff I had, it wasn't very good. But here's the stuff I was using, seam seal all the way across inside of there. And our deck lid we cut up, there ain't a whole lot left on. So I went outside, and I found this one laying outside, and there's my template. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this deck lid up too. Well, nothing ever goes as planned, right? All I had was this little bit left. I was letting it cool down, so I walked away for a little bit and I come back and the inside of the car's on fire. I just got it out. Oh God, it's up in there. I think my wiring for this guy got a little toasted too. Can't be in there anymore. Oh, dang it. Yeah, it's that close. Everything's done all the way around. Oh yeah. Oh, I got my windshield. You can see it's bubbling down right there on the glass already. Well, that sucks. It's all fixable though. Today's project, getting this front end ready for the grill. I believe it was a 40 Chevy, or 41. Not the greatest fit. Our curve is a little bit off. Well, got a bunch of little chunks laying on the ground. And there's how the top fits now. We are now in about 14 pieces, I believe, that I chopped that thing up into. The top is now separated from the bottom, so I have to join them back together. There's the fenders are on that I made. I put the hood latch from the Buick back on, and I made these brackets to go from here up to here and here up to here. And then on the bottom of the grill, I don't know how hard it's going to be to see, but right there, I welded a tab on the grill and then bolted that to the bumper down here, and it hides real nice. So it's looking like a car now, isn't it? Finally got a hood. I'm gonna make my own hinges because the original Buick hinges wouldn't work, and I don't have the original Plymouth hinges. I am gonna hood pin the front, but I'm not necessarily in love with that hood ornament. It's just over the top, and I love it. So my hood pin idea for my hood latch up front, this will just barely be peeking up, oh, about that far. So basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna make my own. I took some C channel, notched it. It's not perfect, but it's gonna work for what I need. And then I found these. I think these are off an old square body Chevy bumper bolts. Not exactly sure. But I took one of these round holes here and egged her out. Got this guy to sit down in there. Then this guy will be mounted to the cowl inside of here, and it'll slide along that guy. This is how this car is gonna stay. I originally was gonna blend this and cover it with some red oxide, sand it down, cover it so you wouldn't see it, but the wheels have grown on me. I don't need a shiny 40s car because I already have a shiny 40s car that's kind of dusty, but got the hood on, they're on the sliders, along with some square body bumper bolts, just holding them in place, nice welds. And then my hood pin right here is just something I had laying around. I actually had this piece to this piece was already welded on like a 70s Ford, which is removable. It's just 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil. So this all pops up out of the way to work on it so it's not in your way. And the whole thing's adjustable up here and down here. Prop rod I just kind of made real quick. It's again, the original trunk spring out of the Buick, welded to a piece of just ready rod. And then I just bent it at the top here. It just fits right up into there. So you just set the prop rod down. It just sits down here. There's a washer welded on the end of that so that it can't come off and slide. And as you lower the hood down, you just push back, it slides into place, and then it'll just sit right down on that guy right there. A small enough thing, so I'm just using a little carabiner clip I had, and it works pretty good. The guy just sits right there. I welded this guy closed just real quick the night before. You tell I've been getting into the drinking a little bit when I was doing them. I couldn't see very well. That'll happen though. And here we are with our completed product. This is about 3 months later, about 3,000 miles, and everything is still holding up good. We got some nice patina going over all of our welds. Looking pretty good. Very minimal issues. Still in the test and tune period. But so far, everything has been good. And I've been driving this almost every day. Thank you all for watching this build. Appreciate the feedback. I don't care if it's good or bad. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you hate it. I like them both. She's definitely a one of a kind. You won't see another one like it. And I'm pretty confident in saying this is the only front wheel drive 48 Plymouth in existence. And I'll go so far as to say is that makes it one of the rarest cars in the world. So, y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.